Hey guys, Scripted here with another video, and I wanted to take a look at this Star Wars fan film that was made entirely with AI, and I think it's important to talk about this because this is sort of, we can all see this is where things are heading. So I was really interested to see what this was going to look like. All of this has to do with where things are going with filmmaking and fan films and what's going to happen, when you have the ability for somebody who's not part of the industry or in with, the crew, able to create things that are as good or better than what you would get from the major studios. And then on top of that, stories that they want to tell that are could potentially be better or worse, depending on what it is as well. And so the write-up says here that a century after the Skywalker saga, a new chapter unfolds. Okay, so we're 100 years after, I guess, the sequels is what he's referring to. I'm not really sure. Could be Jedi. Jace Moon, a young Jedi, has spent the last decade training under the spectral guidance of his uncle Orin, a Force ghost. Now, as a rising darkness emerges, the High Imperium, Jace must step forward to face this growing threat and shape the future of the galaxy. Now, there are going to be a couple times where I'm going to have to speed it up a bit and maybe not have the sound on. He used a lot of copyright-written music, which you're allowed to do. He can still post it, but you can't monetize it. So there's certain parts you don't need to hear anything because there's a lot of dramatic and panning around and stuff like that. So just letting you know ahead of time. Let's see what happens here. Let's take a look. So right away it does look pretty good. And the big test is going to be when they're talking and stuff and how their mouths move and stuff. It's not going to be as good as an actual live actor, but let's just see what it looks like here.
We're breaking the field now.
I mean, you can tell it's AI, but I mean, like I said earlier, we're getting close here, guys. This is pretty extensive. The ship's kind of interesting. It looks like a UFO, but whatever. I'm just curious to see what this is all about. This is very interesting, and it does, the ships and the terrain and the clouds and everything else looks quite good. It's right up there.
We'll come back once it's safe.
It's okay, Cora.
Obviously, the people, there's a little bit of distance to go still before we're at total realism, but man, it's getting there. This actually looks really good. Okay, so a little disappointed that he used R2-D2 sound effect. He should have at least manipulated it. But the music sounds good. I don't know where he got the music from, but yeah, cool. All right.
I'll be back soon. L6 is going to stay behind with you and your uncle.
Okay, so I guess this is the kid, the Jason Moon or whatever his name is, that's being trained by a Force ghost. I will say, I actually thought the floating droid with the arms was kind of cool too. I don't remember that anywhere else in Star. I'm sure it's there. I just don't remember it. But that's cool. Yeah, interesting. Let's just see where the story goes now. So that's what I'm interested in. Even more than the AI. But the AI is, I mean, like I said, it's getting there. Okay, so time's gone by. He's older now, and I like the tent that isn't a tent. I like the structure that he came up with here. That's super cool. It gives you that Star Wars-y vibe, right, of the wear and everything else. And it's, not a, quote, permanent structure, but it's well done. This is cool. So I'm assuming he's wearing his master's old robes because they've got two big holes cut in them. I hope that those aren't his, because that would be very Disney Star Wars-y if this guy made this. That this is another person who survived giant lightsaber stab wounds. So I'm pretty sure this is his old master's outfit.
I want to get off this planet one day. Explore the galaxy.
And he went with I'm stuck on this planet and I want to go and explore the galaxy and all that stuff. Which is fine. Again, I appreciate that people make these. But we have seen this far too many times. But, I mean, as far as the actual footage, it does look good. And like I said, that droid, he did a really good job of that droid. But yeah, the AI looks pretty stinking good, man. What's it going to be like when this guy makes another one, 6 months from now? Who knows?
Trust in the Force, Jace. A day will come when you leave this place behind.
And again, it's kind of like, it's like, the guy kind of looks like Obi-Wan, right? He's got the gray beard and stuff like that. I thought the Force Ghost didn't look super great. Like, I feel like he should have been a little more transparent. Just a bit, just so you can see through him just enough, you know what I mean? So they put together this scene where the soldiers or whatever are in their city, and the General Tyrus is coming from the High Imperium and is going to give them a treaty. And that's pretty much a lot of like a little overdone with like the wounds and the smashed up armor, and even the armor, it looks like almost like a flesh wound, like where the dents and stuff are. It doesn't look like armor dents. It looks like kind of almost bloody and stuff. So a couple little things like that, little details like that. Otherwise, I mean, it looks really good. The talking still isn't quite there yet, but I mean, everything else looks really, really good. Again, a little too much over-dramatic music for just a quick scene to discuss, the coming plot and stuff like that. But
we can't rely on myths to save us. I'm sorry, Nash.
Com's going to be lost any second.
If they are still alive, they will be there.
Better be worth it.
And then they make these faces. So again, oh man, that's funny. The AI is still not the best. What is that face? He's just like, oh. That was actually pretty funny. Okay, so she goes and picks up the kid, like what Buddy said he was going to happen. So, okay, it's a fan film and it's short, so, keep the plot simple. Okay. The ship from the Imperium, obviously this would be a shuttle to take him up and down off planet. I don't know if he's going to show the main ship or not, but I like the design style of this one. The other ones were kind of meh, but this one's actually fits nicely, and it's like it does look like sort of a more streamlined, futuristic look to sort of Imperial starships, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm happy that he went with non-Disney stormtroopers, but at the same time, it's a little weird 100 years later to have the same design. This is a different empire. This is the High Imperium, so I don't know. Some of this is a little bit iffy in my opinion, but we'll see what happens here. I mean, it's still really well done, especially considering it's all done with AI. That's crazy. Okay, and then the kid gives her the backstory about how he sees his uncle every day, even though he died, and she's like, what? And then he says Tyrus is here, he can sense him, I guess. So, obviously, this guy's a dark sider, but he's a general, so it's kind of a weird dynamic there. Not a bad one necessarily, just a different title. I guess they're all just like super counting on this Jedi guy to save them from this guy. It looks decent. Like it's not that bad. You gotta wonder too, like at what point is Disney gonna start getting concerned with some of these that are like pretty high end. Obviously, Star Wars Theory came out with his Vader one that was pretty high end. There's a couple things I wish were a little bit better, but it was pretty decent. And then he's doing another one. You got guys like this. It's interesting. It's interesting to think about what they're thinking about, and the amount of money they spend to get. Like, some of these shots are pretty up there, not quite there, but pretty up there. And I'm sure this guy didn't spend, $300 million.
We will be taking your ships. We are grateful for your hard work on contributing.
So basically, he's like, he knows that they're not there to make a deal with them and that they're actually traitors, and he's just going to take all of their ships. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
You brought a Jedi.
again, this is one of the things AI really struggles with. If you've noticed when you watch anything AI on YouTube or whatever, the action sequences always look either not very good or they just aren't even there, because the action stuff is where it's really difficult. The standing around and the wide shots and the people talking and stuff like that is pretty decent, but the action stuff, like you could see in that saber duel, it wasn't exactly, amazing or anything like that, but it's getting there. Okay, and then he's gonna join Buddy, and because I guess they got to keep all their ships, he's gonna go try and find his mom. So again, he's kind of throwing in sort of the Anakin stuff, the Luke stuff, the Rey stuff, a whole bunch of sort of previous ideas into this character. It's not really different enough for me to be 100 years after Jedi or whatever this is, this stupid sequel trilogy. But again, well done. I mean, I really appreciate the work that people do on this. I'm not saying anything that I'm saying to like bash this dude at all. Like, it's cool that he made this. Okay, so overall, I mean, pretty well done, I gotta say, for AI. Obviously, story-wise, some of the other stuff wasn't exactly spectacular, but I did like the droid. The R2 sound effects were a little bit off-putting, but I liked the look of it. A lot of the stuff looked cool. Some of the ships I wasn't that thrilled about the look of them, but the overall look of the quality of the images was quite good. Way too much over-dramatic music when nothing was going on. But, I mean, whatever. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the stormtroopers being exactly the same 100 years later is a little weird, considering that's an empire that should no longer exist. But at least he didn't put the sequel trilogy ones in there. But I really appreciate somebody doing this, so kind of cool. And I want to see more of this, and if I could, I would. So anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Did you like this? It's something new, and what do you think about where this is going to go in the future in terms of where this is going to get and how quick it's going to get there? And if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It always helps the channel. Feel free to check anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.